What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Ketchup Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me, as always. A lot to catch up on, a lot to talk about. NFL is back. We're going to talk about our favorite storylines of the year. A lot of things aren't being talked about enough. Can Baker Mayfield continue this stretch? Led the league in passing touchdowns last year. Can he continue to ball out? A lot of different things. Lamar Jackson, anything he does in the regular season doesn't matter. We can skip all the way to January when it comes to Lamar and the Ravens. For me, we'll talk about all of our favorite NFL storylines. Then, the Cowboys, the star, the allure, all of it. Is it still there? Does Jerry Jones know what he's doing? We'll talk about the documentary. He trades Micah Parsons, his world-famous edge, to Green Bay. Is that the right move? How did he handle it? We'll talk everything the star. And then Pablo Torre versus Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer and the Clippers and the NBA. Pablo Torre versus everybody.
Pablo finds out.
Pablo finds out, a.k.a. Mr. Dick Tracy, a.k.a. J. Edgar Hoover. Pablo Torre. We'll talk about it all. He found out some things that we already knew, but he found the paper trail, and it sounds like he's not stopping at Kawhi Leonard. No Ketchup, Sports Talk in Chicago. Let's get to it.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's happening?
Man, how we feeling? I had to make sure the equipment still worked, man. I had to dust it off in the closet. I never thought we'd see this day again.
I know. We're back, though. We're rolling. NFL is back. We got a lot going on, man. I'm back in Chicago based. I even feel a little better. You can see the backgrounds a little clearer. I got the Bears tilt on. You know what I'm saying?
Full Chicago guy.
I'm Chicago. I'm back.
You got your Bulls hat in the closet or what?
All my bull stuff is in the closet. I got Joe Keem and the boys. I got a couple bobbleheads. Benny and the boys are down here in the little cabinet.
Big supporter.
Yeah, man. We're not. I can't believe you just brought the Bulls up off the top of the show like that. So let's jump right into it because I feel like we're gonna run long as we typically do because we got jokes, we got things to talk about. But let's start with our favorite NFL storylines. I did a little teaser of a few of mine coming in on the intro. But Eagles coming off a championship, Jalen Hurts still getting flack. They had one of the most interesting years I've ever seen. They were about to unravel every single week, and somehow, some way, between Jalen Hurts and Saquon and the rest of the guys, Sirianni, I don't even know if he gets credit for holding that squad together. He should. But it seemed like if they were to, every week that they came close to losing the game, things were going to unravel, and they just continued to plug away, got it done, win the Super Bowl, kind of shush the haters a little bit. Saquon has the best year of his career by far. They opened the season against the Cowboys. Big Nick the Quick. I have like 5 or 6 storylines I could talk about, but we're going to keep it to at least 3. Give me your favorite NFL storyline coming into the year.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Chiefs. I think one of the things that was interesting.
Hold on, man, stop it.
One of the things that was interesting about when Sean and I stopped recording last year is it was right before the Super Bowl was our last episode, and we actually watched the Super Bowl together. We all know that Sean is a big Patrick Mahomes hater. Doesn't believe
this is not true, by the way.
He slanders Mahomes in every opportunity that he gets. And I actually got to watch that game with Sean, and I was thinking that we come back, do an episode, he'd take his victory lap. He didn't get to, but it's all good. But I think the Chiefs heard the noise. I think a lot of people were waiting for them to lose. I've never seen a team that it looks like no one wanted them to get that three-peat. It's like everybody was dancing on the grave. This is what we thought. They're overrated. La da 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 da. I think it's been a quiet offseason for them. Obviously, they had the ESPN documentary.
It's been a quiet.
Wait. Just so they had the ESPN quieter than usual. They had the ESPN documentary. Obviously, Kelsey's engagement. That's not football related, But as far as like the Chiefs hype, I feel like it's been a little bit quieter. We're still talking about Josh Allen all the time. We're talking about Lamar Jackson. We're talking about can Burrow and the Bengals bounce back. But the Chiefs dominance hasn't been discussed. And I think we've been saying this the whole time. It's not going to be any worse than it's been the last 2 years from a roster and playmaking standpoint, right? If you look at it 2 years ago when they won, that was one of the worst receiving cores in the NFL. Somehow they won a Super Bowl. Team last year wasn't much better. Somehow they limp into the Super Bowl. Those young guys are only getting better. When you talk about Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, those guys, they're going to get better. I think Mahomes is going to have a little bit of chip on his shoulder because he's heard the slander. He's heard the talk from one Sean Little.
Rice
and they're loaded up. Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back in a few weeks. He'll be back. That's fine. That's fine. You want to talk about a team, let's not care until January. They're the ultimate let's not talk about them until January team because they always end up right there. So in all seriousness, yeah, I think that there hasn't been a lot of noise around the Chiefs from a football standpoint this offseason, which is probably how they like it. Because the last time we saw them, it wasn't their best showing, and that's going to be on their mind all year. So I'm excited to see what the Chiefs do.
Hollywood Brown coming back, Xavier Worthy taking the next step could be really interesting. Look, let me put this plain and simple. I have no problem with Pat Mahomes.
Lies.
He's not my favorite quarterback in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. Who do you even know who my favorite quarterback is? Who do you think my favorite quarterback in the NFL is?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. It's by kind of a wide margin.
Yeah, no, that's easy.
I think when we're talking about quarterback play, this guy is on another planet. So yeah, Joe
but
Burrow.
not the planet that Mahomes is on.
See, I don't want to go down this. I don't want to have this conversation because then you're going to start talking about historicals and Super Bowls and this. Right now, the best quarterback in the NFL for me is Joe Burrow, but Mahomes doesn't lose, so I have to give him that credit. I mean, the Super Bowl.
He's 21-4 in the playoffs, and the 4 losses we can name them all. We had this discussion a few weeks ago.
We had this. Me and Nick the Quick hopped on the phone and talked about Patrick Mahomes. We were having our back and forth. And by the way, me and Big Nick the Quick are such close friends that once he starts to really like someone, I automatically don't want to root for them. So that's part of this. That's part of this Patrick Mahomes hate is because Nick loves him so much that I have to figure out a way to be contrarian with Nick. So I go back and forth and I try to hate on Patrick Mahomes. Basically, is the real indicator. But yeah, when you could go to a guy. And you could name that's been how long has Mahomes been in the league now? 7 years?
7 years. It's
and
long
you could go,
7 years.
Hey, and you could name every single playoff loss. Let's go through them again, Nick.
Yeah. So the first one was to Tom Brady and the Patriots. I think that was his second
in a shootout.
In a shootout. That was his second year. The second one was to Joe Burrow.
Yep.
The third one was to Brady and the Bucks. And the fourth one was 6 months ago to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's it.
So he has 4 losses. 2 are in the Super Bowl.
2 of them in the Super Bowl. And 2 of them are to Tom Brady.
And 2 of them are to Tom Brady.
2 of them are to Tom Brady, and 2 of them are in the Super Bowl to Tom Brady and an absolute juggernaut of an Eagles team that was really built to take advantages of the weaknesses of the Chief team, which was mainly blocking the quarterback. So yeah, you remember all of his losses vividly. Like we remember the Burrow loss, right? We remember maybe not the first Brady loss as much, but you definitely remember the Super Bowl when they were on Mahomes' ass. We remember last Super Bowl, obviously, when they were on Mahomes' ass. And it's just not going to be that bad this year. If they didn't fix that offensive line, and I don't know the exact moves that they made. I know the guard came over to the Bears. But if they didn't fix that offensive line, then that's a crime because that's all that was really holding them back. So we'll see. That's a lot of Chiefs talk, but we'll see.
Yeah, they drafted the left tackle, Josh Simmons, who is coming off a major knee injury that I think is an interesting talking point. But that's a whole nother story. Let me ask you this. While I look up Josh Simmons' knee injury. Yeah, he had tore patella in 2024. Everyone seems to think that's no issue. That hasn't been talked about at all. He's looked all right in camp and preseason. So stay tuned there. Before I get to my first storyline, Travis Kelce, where are you at? Is he done? He looked fucking done to me last year. He looked toast.
He's old.
He looked dusted. He looked old.
They need to put him on the. They need to put him on the Gronk plan. The Gronk plan, where we kind of ease you into the season, and then by like week 10 or 11, we start ramping you up, and by playoff time, you're good to go. They need another tight end, and they need to put him on the Gronk plan. Remember they used to do that with Gronk in New England. You wouldn't hear from Gronk in September or October or November, but come December, he's coming out there with the big arm brace. He's doing his thing. He's good to go. That's what you got to do with Kelce.
So you're not worried about Travis?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not worried about Travis when it counts. Are you? When it counts?
Well, no.
Not through the day-to-day of a 17-game season, but when it counts, I'm not worried about Travis.
Andy
Kelce.
And those boys always put Travis in the right spot.
He'll be fine. Yeah, he'll be wide open. He will still be wide open, and we'll be saying, why is he so wide open? Completely wide open.
Wide open.
He'll be wide open.
Last point. I would not be shocked if Noah Gray had a bigger year than Travis Kelce. Mark that down. Remember what I said. I think Noah Gray is going to get a lot of looks. Travis Kelce, to me, looked out of shape and old last year. We'll see what he looks like come week 1 this Sunday in the NFL. I don't really – if I had to pick a side on where the Taylor Swift stuff lands, it's not a positive thing for on the field, Travis Kelce. That's what I think.
Come on. I think –
why? Why?
Yeah, why?
We talk about this all. We talk about this all.
You think because he's not locked? These boys have been getting it in. We talked about this before. They've been getting bye weeks. They're going to baseball games, chugging beers. That's how these guys live, man. I think that they're fine.
Okay, I think overall he's looking a little old. We'll see what it shakes because I love Travis. I think it goes Gronk, Travis, Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, like those are my favorite tight ends of all time. I can't believe I just disrespected Jeremy Shockey. Jeremy Shockey is up there as well.
You also disrespected my man's from the Charger. Antonio Gates was a monster.
Antonio Gates, yeah. So, like, he's in that class, of course, by numbers alone, but even likability.
You didn't hear me say Kyle Pitts.
You talking about Hall of Famer Kyle Pitts?
Hall of Fame. Hey, man, I haven't left. I'm still there. Free Kyle Pitts.
All right. Obviously, another big storyline for me is going to be the Chicago Bears. I'll take it there first. I'm really interested to see how quickly, because for me, Caleb Williams is going to respond to Ben Johnson. He's going to be very good under Ben Johnson, in my opinion. It's just how quickly it's going to happen. I think there's a real opportunity by like come week 4, we're like, yo, these guys are already dialed, and Caleb looks amazing. For him to show as many flashes as he did last year under Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus, if you think about it, is actually kind of mind-boggling.
Wait, he showed flashes last year? Because you have everybody else telling he was the worst quarterback in the NFL last year.
Why do you think people are on that with him?
It's crazy. I heard someone compared him to Anthony Richardson the other day. I'm like, have y'all watched Anthony Richardson play football? Like, it's not even close. Yeah, was Caleb amazing as a rookie? No, but did he do a lot of things that we like? Absolutely. Did he protect the football? Absolutely. Was there like a 4 or 5 week stretch? I remember there was like a 4-week stretch where he was the highest rated passer in the NFL. And everybody just forgets about that. They remember how the season ends. They remember everything after the Hail Mary game. Coming into this offseason, I mean, if Caleb was throwing an incompletion at training camp, it was covered for 6 days.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it's absolutely crazy how quick inside Chicago everybody is to turn on this guy. Like, by all accounts, he had 0 coaching last year. Zero anything that set him up for success.
0. And he confirmed that he was watching film by himself.
By himself.
The whole thing he was trying to figure out by himself. So the fact that he comes in, they add Loveland, they add more weapons. I think DJ Moore will actually be interested this year because of the new coaching staff and the new season coming up. Because between having a clueless coach, going through 3 play callers on offense last year.
Yeah. Yep.
His star wide receiver is completely disconnected towards the back half of the year. Visibly disconnected, and was one of the most boisterous guys backing Justin Fields.
Without a doubt.
Like, there's no doubt about that. So there's literally everything stacked up against Caleb Williams. He didn't turn it over. He threw for almost 3,600 yards, and he was right there, 3,500 yards, excuse me. But he showed a lot of flashes to me where I was like, yeah, this guy's got the juice. Like, I don't need to see anymore. So I'm excited to see how quickly, for me, it's not, is he going to respond to Ben Johnson? It's how quickly he will respond to Ben Johnson and that new offense and how he gets things up and running. So that's number one storyline for me, of course. Caleb Williams times Ben Johnson. And the other storyline, as we talked about a bunch, Nick, this defensive line, brother, I'm very worried.
Me too.
I am extremely worried that the Bears might be in a situation where they're getting run on in chunks. And then once that starts, the play action opens up. Everything is a disaster. So that's where I'm at. We'll see what the defensive line looks like. But I think Caleb and Ben Johnson is going to be a home run.
If only there was a generational pass rusher available for the last month.
Yeah, for two firsts.
For 2 firsts and a 30-year-old defensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean, people can talk. Look, this is the thing. All the nerds get in the sheet and they start talking about the cap and the salary this and salary that and restriction.
Spend the money.
Man, just figure the shit out and go get guys like this. The Rams figured out Aaron Donald. They figured out Matt Stafford. They figured out Cooper Kupp. They went and got that ring. They got
Jalen Ramsey. They went and got they were getting guys while they were over the cap. Remember we were talking about how are the Rams finding this cap space?
Yes.
And everybody's like, oh, well, they mortgaged their future. They traded all these first-round picks. Well, guess what? They're still good.
And they got a ring.
and they got a ring, and they're still good.
So I'm always going to be on the side of go make it happen.
Yeah. And especially with a guy on a rookie deal. You got a quarterback on a rookie deal.
When he actually cared, force.
Absolutely.
Absolute force. So that's my favorite talking point. You see the cat, dog.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the D-line. Look, man, nobody is a bigger build from the trenches guy than me. We've been talking about this for years on the offensive side. Nothing works if your offensive line isn't work. And on the defensive side, it's the same thing. Nothing works if your defensive line doesn't work. Those great cover corners you have, guess what? If there's no pressure on the cornerback, they can't do anything. Those great linebackers you have, if those defensive tackles aren't plugging up holes or whatever they're supposed to do, none of that's going to look good. So you have to fix it from the trenches. We've been talking about this with the Bears for years, right? Do I like Montez Sweat? Sure. Montez Sweat is fine. I don't think Montez Sweat is the type of guy that's going to get 10 to 12 sacks and put that much pressure on the defense. He's a fine player. He looks a lot better when you have a good player on the other side of him. So I was disappointed we didn't go after Micah. I was disappointed we didn't prioritize the pass rush because this is the NFL, especially in this division where we got Jordan Love, where we got Jared Goff, where we got J.J. McCarthy potentially, and those boys, like, you got to put pressure on the quarterback. So I'm equally as concerned, but definitely excited about Ben Johnson. I think, look, by all accounts, this is a completely different situation than maybe what we've ever had, especially in recent memory, as far as how this guy goes about his business. We've heard nothing but great things. We saw what he did with the Lions last year. So I'm with you, man. I think he's going to make huge strides with Caleb. Are there going to be times where it looks rough? Absolutely, but that's with every team. But I saw it last year. You saw it last year. Caleb has a ton of talent, a ton of confidence, and I think he's going to figure it out. So I don't understand where a lot of it's coming from. I think it's because maybe he doesn't carry himself like your traditional quarterback. Maybe people don't like the nail painting. Maybe people don't like that he's unapologetically himself. But whatever, man. I don't care what he does as long as come Sunday, Monday in this case. He does what he's supposed to do. So I'm all in on Caleb, man. Let's go.
No question. Give me your second. What's your other storyline?
I think something that's not being talked about nearly enough is the Detroit Lions and the impact of losing both of these coordinators. You like Dan Campbell. I like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell doesn't know what a playbook looks like. I'm telling you right now. He is like like we've talked about these guys who are kind of just there to run the program. Dan Campbell is he's like Harbaugh and the Baltimore. Harbaugh doesn't look at the playbook. His coordinators look at the playbook, but he's kind of running the program, right? Yeah. That is what Dan Campbell is. Like, he's a rah-rah, emotional, wear it on our sleeve, get the guys fired up, set the tone type guy. but he's not in there designing offense and defense. So I think when you talk about Aaron Glenn going to the Jets and obviously Ben Johnson coming over to the Bears, he really relied on those coordinators, and those were two really, really, really good ones. So I do think that there's going to be an impact on that. I know they elevated, the quarterback coach into the offensive coordinator. I'm not sure who they put in the defensive side, but that's absolutely going to have an impact, man. You saw it with Philly a few years ago.
John Morton, offensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, defensive coordinator.
Never heard of either of those guys before in my life. So, I think there's going to be some work to do there. You can't, on one hand, talk about how – yeah.
Morton was the senior offensive assistant, and Shepard was the linebackers coach. So they went internally and kept it in the family. Yeah.
So they want to keep the verbiage as close as possible and all that. But you can't talk about how great Ben Johnson is and then act like him leaving Detroit isn't a big deal. You can't love Aaron Glenn and think that he's going to do good things with the Jets and not talk about how leaving Detroit is a big deal. So losing both those coordinators, I think that's going to be huge for them, man. I would not be surprised if, in general, I already expected them to take a step back. Their last 2 years have been to the moon. And I kind of expected that this year. But I think losing those coordinators, man, absolutely is going to have a big impact on the Detroit Lions. And I don't think that's being talked about enough.
Let me ask you this. Is your boy Goff good enough to overcome that? No?
He has been. But, he has been. He's been great the last 2 years. Let me ask you that. I'll throw that back at you. Do you fully believe – it's hard when, you've seen a lot of a guy and then all of a sudden they change. It's kind of like Darnold last year. It was like, yo, that was great, but this is still Sam Darnold. Yeah. And we knew when those last – and we knew –
it's so funny.
Did anybody have faith? Did anybody have faith in those last 2 games, right? The game against Detroit where they needed it to get the bye week and then the playoff game. It's like – no one was surprised that Darnold was shaky in that Detroit game, especially that he was shaky. As good as he had been all year, it was kind of like, hey, yeah, when push comes to shove, this is still Sam Darnold. When push came to shove, he's still Sam Darnold. Shout out to him for getting his money. I think it absolutely cost him about 10 or 15 per year, but he got his money from Seattle. Good for him. Kind of the same way with Goff. It's like, man, I've seen so much Jared Goff in my life that I can't necessarily sit here and tell you that this guy is some world beater who
you're
I
not
have
over
all
that.
the confidence
no, you're not
on.
over the Rams shit or
and he took the Rams to the Super Bowl.
He took
the Rams to the Super Bowl. He took the Rams to the Super Bowl, man. I mean, he's done a lot of things, but I don't know if you're sitting here and I got Joe Burrow on one side and Jared Goff on the other, or Mahomes. And I understand these guys are generational, but I'm not looking at him in that class of quarterback. You have your no doubters. I know no matter what, Mahomes is going to put it on the line, and if they lose, they lose. Same thing with Josh Allen. Same thing with Lamar and those guys, right? You feel confident. When you're telling me, hey, Jared Goff needs to overcome for the loss of the coordinator and all these things and get them back to a 13 or 14 win season again, it's a lot of questions, man. It's a lot to figure out. And he doesn't have Ben Johnson in his ear, who clearly elevated his career. And prior to that, he had McVay in his career. So he has had elite offensive minds in his ear for his entire career. And now he doesn't. Now what's his name? Joe Morton? John Morton? Morton Salt?
It's John Morton and Kelvin Shepard.
I don't know these guys. John Morton's a lot different than Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. So,
that's true.
Yeah. And listen, man, I'm not going to – look, Goff has been lights out. He was damn near the MVP for a lot of the year last year.
It is crazy how – Sam Darnold was legitimately lights out last year, and it literally got to the 17th game, and he started to crack, and we were like, oh, yeah, it's fucking Sam Darnold.
It's Sam Darnold. And no one has faith in him going in this year. It's not like, oh, man, the Seahawks added a great quarterback. Yeah.
It's unfair, but, yeah, you're dead on. All right, let's move over to my second favorite storyline. This is really fascinating to me. I have to go to the Bake Show, man. Baker Mayfield. I can't believe what he's done, if I'm being completely honest. And Big Nick the Quick, I went back and just went through a little career encapsulation. We won't even talk about the shit at Oklahoma and running from the cops. We won't even bring that up, right?
Baker's resilient.
We won't even talk about that, right? We won't talk about him going from Texas Tech as a walk-on to then walking on to Oklahoma and having legal trouble, but winning the Heisman. And we won't talk about any of that.
Planting the flag at Austin.
Planting the flag at, was that Austin or was that Ohio State?
Was it Ohio? Was it Ohio State?
No, I think it was. I can't remember. Look that up really quick.
Yeah.
The career is just unbelievable. And it's just a reminder just to keep plugging away. Whatever you got going on, just keep plugging because this shit is a roller coaster. It's never smooth. Let's go back to Baker Mayfield 2018.
It was Ohio State.
It's Ohio State, right? Yeah.
The balls.
Yeah. 2018, Baker Mayfield. And to go back to that Ohio State stuff, didn't he? I'm pretty sure that was the same game where across the sideline he was grabbing his nuts and talking
he was just doing Baker Mayfield things.
Yeah, he's just like a wild man. You know what I mean? So I love it, right? And those are hey, look, I could get down with it, and you show up and then win the Heisman. I'm with it, right? But so we'll bypass all that.
He's a wild man.
Let's get to the NFL. Rookie year, he breaks the passing touchdown record. He has 27 touchdowns, 3,700 yards, 14 interceptions, but he's a rookie. It's his first year starting. He starts 13 games in 2018 and throws 27 touchdowns. They go 6-7. It is what it is. It's his rookie year, right? And he's in freaking Cleveland,
though. Yeah.
And he's in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's go to 2019. He has the sophomore slump, as they call it. 22 touchdowns, 21 NLs. He doesn't really play very well. His completion percentage drops below 60%. He had a lot to live up to after that first year. He has the sophomore slump. Fuck that sophomore slump. He shows up in year 3. The Browns go 11-5, Nick. Do you remember this?
I remember that.
He throws 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. His completion percentage is back up to 63%. He plays good ball, starts 16 games. He is dialed in.
I remember that year they were playing very conservatively with him. That was the talk. Stefanski had dialed back the offense a little bit. If you look at his yards per game, it went down. They weren't slanging it as much. It was like, hey, Baker, play safe football, and he did a great job, but they could not wait to run him out of town.
And mind you, that's when Kevin Stefanski came in. That 18-19, in 2019 when he took the slump, you know who the head coach was, our guy, Freddie Kitchens.
The guy who's, you talking about the offensive coordinator of North Carolina Tar Heels, Freddie Kitchens?
You talking about the squad that...
Freddie.
Sidebar. As everybody knows, or if you don't know and you're new to this pod, me and Big Nick the Quick are not big college football. So we tune into the very super high-level talk.
The biggest weekend of the year.
Let's see what Bill Belichick's going to do. His girlfriend's on the sideline chirping him before the game starts. He got $50 million. He hired all his buddies to come do things. He has to deal with 17-year-olds. Whatever. Let's see what Bill Belichick can do at home in a home opener. Had all summer to prepare. They score on the first drive and then completely get dusted off. And I hear at some point during the telecast that the offensive coordinator is Freddie Kitchens. So I immediately called Nick and I'm like, yo, man, all I needed to know was that Freddie Kitchens was the offensive coordinator of North Carolina, and we could have bet TCU and made a little cheese.
Day. That was free.
So
hey, you're supposed to pick up on stuff like this, man. You're the information guy.
I know.
You should have known Freddie was in the building. That was easy cash. Right before we go to Vegas, we could have doubled up real quick.
So look, listen to this. Last year, he's the tight ends coach and run game coordinator. Then he was the interim head coach after
where? At North Carolina?
At North Carolina. So
he's been there.
So Belichick kept him on.
Freddie has roots in
I don't know, man.
Chapel Hill.
This Belichick thing to me feels like he's collecting a check and he is not up for all the work it's going to take to build an ACC contender.
Well, to beat Bill Belichick. This is a guy who was like the definition of locked in and nothing else mattered. Now he's running around with a young thing.
Yeah,
he's living
I'm
life. He's on the
not
beach. He's on the beach doing the hold up thing, man. This man's living life, man. He's swimming in it, man. He doesn't give a fuck.
Anyway,
fine. I'll go for $10 million. Hey, real quick, shout out Freddie Kitchens, real quick. Who did? Do you remember how Freddie got the Browns job? They got rid of our boy, the immortal. Talk about never seen a playbook. Hugh Jackson. Shout out Hugh Jackson. Yo, salute Hugh Jackson, for real. A legend, man. He's rich.
I hope Hugh Jackson is somewhere sitting on the beach, smoking chronic and drinking and relaxing every single day.
And laughing.
The guy continued, like, his charisma behind closed doors. Shout out our guy, because
a football life, Hugh Jackson.
A football life, Hugh Jackson. Where's that documentary?
Hey, I'll tune in on that one. NFL Networks, cue it up. Give me an hour of Hugh Jackson. How'd you get here? Shout out Hugh
Jackson. How'd you get here?
You want me to have the Raiders job? Yeah, why not? Oh, the Browns job? Sure. Hey, whatever.
Sure. I'll lose.
Wasn't he at Arizona State with Herm Edwards for a little bit too? I think when Herm was hiring all his guys.
I think he was there.
He was up there.
Yo, speaking of Herm, this feels very similar. Herm was old. Arizona State needed like a re-up.
Yeah.
But like he wasn't up on the new age and what it was gonna take to get that squad up and running, man. Listen, bro. When Nick Saban said, I'm done with this shit. I'm not dealing with the NIL. I'm not dealing with this entire new age. I knew it was a different game. Bill Belichick was trying to show up and do that? Nah, man. It's just not. It's
with a new thinger and tote, no chance, man.
With a new young joint? No, that apparently runs the show. Anyway, okay. Sidebar closed. back to
only Freddie Kitchens can take us down this type of tangent.
Shout out to Freddie Kitchens sidebar. So then he goes 11-5 off the sophomore slump. He took 40 sacks in that sophomore slump. They go 11-5, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was back to playing good ball. Then we get to the next year. He goes 6-8. The wheels fall off. 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And remember, now with the new coach in tow, you get this is not my guy. I didn't draft this guy. Who is this dude? I'm not a Baker believer. Because that's what happens. He comes in 20. Stefanski comes in 2020 when they go 11-5. So the initial revival under Stefanski happens. Then the next year he's bad. And what do we always talk about, Nick? Who can I blame here? Oh, Baker, bro. That's not my guy. I don't know this dude like that.
I didn't draft him.
I was patching up shit last year when we went 11-5. Like that's how we made that work. Yeah. So Baker didn't play well. Baker wasn't playing well. Cool. We get to 2022. He's off Cleveland. He goes to Carolina, which is a wasteland. Does nothing. There is real talk, and let me wrap this shit up. There is real talk that Baker Mayfield is going to be out of the league. He is now a Trubisky-type certified backup, never to be heard from again. He'll just waste away as a backup, collect checks, and maybe he'll start a few games. He starts a couple meaningless games on the back end of the year for Sean McVay and the Rams, plays well.
Remember, he got signed on like a Tuesday. He got signed on like Tuesday and started on Sunday. It was out of, yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers take a shot in the dark. Baker knows it's his last opportunity. If he doesn't play well, he's done as a starting quarterback in the NFL. What does he do? He starts 17 games. They win 9. He throws 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. Then he follows it up with 41 touchdowns. He throws 4,000 yards. First time in his career, first year in Tampa. Then he follows it up with 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 16 picks. He only takes, he took a decent amount of sacks, but
he got hit a little bit.
But plays his ass off for a guy that was in real trouble. So to put
leads
a bow
the league
on
in
it,
passing.
Man, yes, to put a bow on it.
Quietly.
He's second favorite behind Joe Burrow to lead the league in touchdown passes again. Joe Burrow is going to literally throw the ball fucking 50 times a game. So my storyline is and then he got back-to-back Pro Bowls, first time in his career for Baker as well. I can't wait to see, is Baker going to be able to keep this thing rolling and continue to play high-level ball? Because as I just laid out, you have a good year, they could easily just kick you off to the side. And then within 2 years of going 11-5, you could be looking at a career rest of your league being a backup in the NFL. So I'm very excited to see if Baker can keep this rolling in that soft division. I'm rooting for him. I can't wait to watch.
I like it. I'm with it. I'm very, very pro Baker. I thought he had an awesome year last year that definitely went under the radar. I think that division is set up perfectly for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win again.
Continue to just dominate.
Yeah, Atlanta's a question mark, obviously. Carolina is a lot they need to figure out. But shout out Bryce Young, did play a lot better second half of the season after they. I was actually against. I don't want to go on like a big Bryce Young thing, but I was against them benching him.
Yeah.
Canales, remember
it worked.
The third week. It ended up working. He came back, like a couple weeks of Andy Dalton. Shout out Andy Dalton, another certified check getter. I'm available if you need me.
Big time check
Andy Dalton, big time. I'm here. I'm around. So shout out him. Yeah, he definitely turned it around. But yeah, that division leaves much to be desired, and I think that they've done a great job capitalizing. Shout out my boy Todd Bowles out there. My last one, man, as cliche as this sounds, actually, I think I'm going to take it a different direction. Year 2 passers. I'm interested to see.
Oh, Jaden.
J.J. McCarthy. I'm interested to see Jaden Daniels if he follows up on his year 1 success, right? Remember, C.J. Stroud was the greatest thing ever. Came out year 2, didn't have as good of a year as year 1. So I'm interested to see what Jaden's going to do.
Yeah.
Bo Nix. I was a big Bo Nix guy last year. Came in the league, he's about 30 years old. Guy started maybe 72 college games, so came in with some experience. Clearly, Peyton wanted him. We saw what it looked like when Peyton didn't want his quarterback for the last 2 years of Russell Wilson. No matter what Russ did, Peyton did not want him. Clearly wanted Bo Nix. So I'm interested there. Drake May. You hear a lot of positive Drake May stories coming out of New England. So interested to see what happens there. And then obviously Caleb Williams. So I think there's a lot of intrigue around those second-year quarterbacks. A lot of guys went high early last year. A lot of mixed success. You kind of had the highest extreme with Jaden Daniels. And then again, if you listen to national media, you had the lowest of lows with Caleb Williams. So I kind of want to see what happens with some of these guys year 2. I think Jaden's going to be fantastic. I have no issues there, but I want to see what happens. I don't see a slump. I don't know if he's going to be NFC Championship game again. I think a lot of things went right for them last year, starting with that Bears Hail Mary game. When you start winning games like that, you clearly got the 4-leaf clover up your ass. Pause. But kind of want to see what happens there with these second-year guys. I was going to go cliche, Baltimore Ravens, can Lamar win? But we already know that that's the storyline. We don't have to go there. Same thing with Josh Allen and all these other guys. Your regular seasons are over. Josh Allen got his sympathy MVP last year. It's time to win in the playoffs, and it was a sympathetic MVP.
Wow, we can really the sidebar. We can really go on the sidebar here. But anyway, yes, sympathy. Yeah. The Jaden is really interesting. I mean, he has nowhere but to go down. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, is he really going to elevate like that? Like, is he going to take it? Like, can he take it to another level in year 2? He was spooky good last year. I'm excited to watch that, of course. The J.J. McCarthy thing is one of the biggest question marks that's trying to be muted by the Minnesota Vikings as much as they can. Something like I've never seen. They essentially are like
he's great.
They decided that they're not going to pay. They just weren't going to pay the money. They're going to try to win on the rookie deal with J.J. McCarthy. Remember, J.J. McCarthy had an injury last year that he easily could have come back from and played. I think it was a meniscus. Yeah. He ended up not coming back at all. They sat him, designed to sit him, learn, come back year 2, almost like Chet Holmgren style. Like, come back as a rookie, but you're a year 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? He comes back. Everything is roses, and we're so excited about J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy this, J.J. McCarthy that. Let's see.
We're not signing a high level. I mean, their backup is Carson Wentz, so it's like we're not bringing in another quarterback or anything like that.
And let me ask you this: when's the last time you remember a rookie quarterback going on the road on Monday Night Football to open the season and being a favorite.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
was taken back by that.
Yeah.
Them being a favorite to me seems a little
What's the number?
suspect. Last I saw it was the Vikings minus 1.5.
I was going to say 1.5. It can't be that high.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Like rookie quarterback on the road Chicago is going to be hot. It's going to be hostile in there.
Yeah. It's a hell of
a
line.
They're favored.
Is that
minus 122 on the money line?
Is that more of a confidence in the Vikings line or no confidence in the Bears line? Like if you had to read it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the narrative and like the tone, I think overall is positive on Ben Johnson and the Bears, right?
Yeah.
So that shows a lot of confidence in JJ and Kevin O'Connell that, we'll be straight, nothing to worry about, we'll be good. So, but yeah, you don't see very many rookie quarterbacks on the road on Monday Night Football being a favorite in their very first start. So something to keep an eye on there. The Bo Nix thing. If of any team this entire offseason, the Denver Broncos have been getting more gas than anybody. It's been pure gas, no negative talk coming out of Denver. Sean Payton this, Sean Payton that. Sean Payton's got it figured out. Like, Sean Payton's not going to have any issues with anything ever, apparently, because they have Bo Nix and that deep.
Unless the Perkies come around. Might have some problems there.
So,
Sean, I can't feel my face paint.
So, the Bo Nix thing is interesting, of course. He was very good in stretches, but man, you know how this shit goes. And then you're then asked to do more. They got off to a lot of really bad starts. And then they had like one of the best defenses in the league come back half of the year. So I'm excited to see how the Bo Nix thing shakes. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. My last one is Lamar Jackson, is the Baltimore Ravens. Because in my opinion, Lamar can get sensitive from time to time. How is he going to navigate nothing in the regular season mattering? They're going to be pummeling people by double digits all the time, and he won't get the love he deserves because of what he's done in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he hasn't been that guy in the playoffs. There's no proof that he could beat Burrow. There's no proof. Pull up Lamar Jackson's playoff wins and losses for me really quick. But the consensus is he should be an underdog versus 3 guys in the AFC in the playoffs.
He's 2-4 in the playoffs. So 2018 as a rookie, lost to the Chargers 23-17 in the wild card round.
Yep.
2019 lost to the Titans 28-12 in the divisional.
Yeah, that was the bad one. I remember that. Yeah, that was Derrick Henry and them.
Yep, lost to the Bills 17-3 2020. Then missed the playoffs the next 2 years when he was hurt. 2023 divisional, beat the Texans 34-10. Then lost in the AFC Championship to the Chiefs. Then last year beat the Titans 20 no, that was the Titans weren't in the playoffs in 2024, were they? The Titans were in the playoffs last year? No, that's the year before. Won 20-13, and then won against the Texans. Then last year, obviously, the loss against the Bills with the Mark Andrews drop, which you can't put that on Lamar.
Yeah, no,
you can't put. They were gonna win that ball game, and Mark Andrews dropped the ball. I mean, you can't. Yeah, they were in the position to win the game, and he dropped the ball.
But if you go back, if you want to go back to the first half, Lamar has that massive fumble. They were dominating.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So, he turned it over there.
He's 3-5 in the playoffs, so yeah.
And by the way, I've actually had quite a few U.S. American dollars on Lamar. I had a lot of money on Lamar versus the Chiefs at home. I thought that was the one that they definitely were going to get it done.
You could really actually dissect his playoff wins to saying, okay, he beat who was my boy? Ryan Tannehill on the road. It was one of his playoff wins. Good win, but it was Ryan Tannehill. Beat a rookie quarterback in C.J. Stroud last year or 2 years ago, and then beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. So he hasn't necessarily gone up or beat anybody that really scares you from a playoff perspective, like the 3 teams that he beat, again, rookie quarterback Ryan Tannehill and the Steelers last year.
Yeah.
But when he goes up against Buffalo, Kansas City, gets killed.
So you can argue that he would be an underdog. I mean, obviously Cincinnati's defense is going to be an issue, but he has he has a lot of questions to answer come playoff time, and I'm really interested to see how he navigates that entire thing. So nothing he does in the regular season, people are going to reluctantly want to give him MVP again if he puts up another big year, because it's like, we've seen this movie so many times. What is he going to do in the playoffs? So I'm interested to see how he navigates that. Man, you want to talk about, I'm rooting for Lamar just like I'm rooting for Burrow and the rest of the guys. Like, I need him to get to the playoffs and, like, really start cracking some people so he can shut some guys up.
Would you rather see Lamar win a Super Bowl or Joe Burrow?
Lamar.
Okay.
Because Lamar winning a Super Bowl puts him in a completely different stratosphere. When we start talking about career and numbers and hardware,
yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, like this is where we're getting to with Lamar if he wins a Super Bowl. Heisman, multiple time MVP, and this is down the road, Nick, where if you win that Super Bowl, then that rumbling of like in like 10 years from now that like Josh Allen stole that other one becomes extremely loud. Right. It's like you guys are lucky Lamar doesn't have 4 MVPs or 5 MVPs.
You start putting them in that football, like from a decorated state. To me, like the most decorated football player I've always said is Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson won a Heisman, won a national championship, won Defensive Player of the Year, and won a Super Bowl. It just doesn't get much better than that. Yeah. And I think you then put Lamar outside of winning an NCAA national championship, but he was at fucking Louisville. Right. You put Lamar in that same thing of like, yo, I have checked every high-level award that you could want in football, I have won. And there's only so many guys that can say that. Like,
and
it's the Woodson sweep, yeah.
And been disrespected along the way, right?
Disrespected all the way. They had to beg for a deal.
Yeah,
we should change the name of the show to "Had to Beg for." Lamar had to beg for it. Hey, you talk about Michael begging for a deal, all these other guys begging for a deal. Fuck that. Lamar had to beg for a deal. So I think you're right, man. Yeah.
Have you seen those like Instagram pages where it's like it's like meme daily and they just post the same meme every single day of a famous. It's like we should create a page like Lamar had to beg for a deal. Lamar had to beg for a deal.
Had to beg for a deal. Can't believe it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how they navigate the coming season. Does Derrick Henry continue to just put up gaudy numbers and run everybody over? That's eventually going to slow up. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Lamar and seeing how he navigates that.
Do you know last year was his first year as a 4,000-yard passer? That's crazy.
I did not realize that, but it makes sense.
It was 4,100 yards. When you really look at it, they don't throw the ball downfield. He gets in the red zone, scores touchdowns, 41 touchdowns, but only 4,100 yards. And even
he threw like 6 picks or something too, right?
Yeah, and even
he doesn't turn the ball over.
He doesn't turn the ball over at all.
So
he's awesome.
Yeah, shout out.
Could have been MVP last year. Yeah.
Who's the Ravens offensive coordinator?
The black dude?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the coordinator? Our boy from what's his name?
Todd Monken.
Monken. Yeah, shout out.
Annually locked in.
And they got the brother at the young brother at defensive coordinator, Zach whatever his name is. Shout out him too.
Yeah, shout out Harbaugh too.
Yeah, shout out Harbaugh, man.
So yes, to close that out, that is my my last storyline I'm really interested in. How are they going to navigate being expected every week to win by double digits, and if you don't, it's a massive problem. And then when you do, no one cares.
Nobody
and then
cares.
How they're going to deal with that before getting into the playoffs and then really trying to make some noise.
Yep.
Honorable mention, the Stafford back, how that affects the San Francisco 49ers, who are extremely healthy now. Purdy's paid. McCaffrey will be back.
Nobody's talking about them.
Debo's gone, who was a negative, I believe, in the locker room and just how he carried himself. He had just outgrown that whole situation. Greenlaw is gone. They got Hufunga's gone. They got a lot of new heads, but like a lot of stability as well. So
and Stafford is starting this weekend, right? Has he not practiced at all offseason? They're just going to throw him out there.
There's been no chat that he's not. They're a 3-point favorite at home against
but he hasn't
Texans.
practiced. Has he practiced at all?
He's a vet.
I thought he didn't. Man, listen, he didn't practice
He's
all
a vet,
training
bro.
camp. All right, hey, we'll see. Shout out
Let me see. I'm gonna type in.
Yeah, he's practicing. I guess. Yeah, practicing for second straight week. So he's practicing for 2 weeks. He's gonna be ready to go.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, man, he's back, boy.
George
is on.
Does the arm still work?
Yeah. Bulldog.
Yeah, shout out
all right, let's
Stafford.
rotate. We went 50 on that, which was insane. But we'll chop it down here. Let's talk about the Cowboys, Jerry Jones.
The boys.
What a debacle this whole thing is. I will say, I watched the documentary. Absolutely sensational.
I haven't watched it yet.
What?
I haven't watched it yet.
Bro, Electric Factory. Go watch it ASAP. It's up there with The Last Dance. That good. Go watch.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
What's it called? The
Gambler and his boys or something like that. The
Cowboys, The Gambler and His Cowboys or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, on Netflix, go watch that ASAP. Where you at with Jerry, the overall star? Should they get as much attention? Where are you at overall with Jerry Jones? And let's talk the Micah deal.
You being a show business guy, you understand why they get that attention because that gets the ratings. ESPN obviously measures this stuff, so they know if we give 20 minutes on the Cowboy, people are tuned in. So that's not going to go anywhere. The star is going to continue to get covered. It doesn't matter what we think about it. I will say this, man. I think in this one, you really saw Jerry's age and the stubbornness that comes with that age really come out to play. First of all, Jerry has been doing this long enough to know you don't negotiate directly with players, right? Like he was really dug in on that. Micah and I had
but he has. That's the thing.
Yeah, but okay, great. But that's not. He knows 99% of the time he hasn't. He didn't with Dak. He didn't with CD. He hasn't with any of his high-profile guys. I don't want to hear, oh, well, I bought the Cowboys in 1982 off a handshake deal. These are different times, right? So, yeah, Micah was probably in there. Jerry's like $40 million a year. Micah's like, hey, yeah, that sounds great, whatever. But this is not the agent. This is not the person that ultimately is going to say, yes, this is a good deal. But Jerry was so dug in on that, couldn't get past it to the point where the reporting was they never made him another offer. Even when Parsons people reached out to negotiate, they were like, no, we've already offered you a deal. That's the deal that we offered you. So for him to come out and be like, well, the agent is messing this all up, like you start to really see the craziness of an old rich guy who's fully dug in on what he believes and isn't going to change it, right? Like, so I think once you hit that point, this was never going to get better. Once Jerry started talking about, what did he have to say? The mama has to bring the boy back in or some shit like that. Whatever he was saying a couple weeks ago that made it sound like Michael Parsons was on a plantation and Jerry was in charge. Like, he knew it was over with at that point. Then everything he's said since he's traded him has been absolutely insane. We talk about the Jerry Jones mobile press conference that he seems to always have. Right after they trade him, he's up there calling him Michael Parsons. His son is looking at him like he's absolutely crazy. Then he gets out the other day and he's like, well, it's a numbers game, you know, and I traded 1 for 3 and I'll take that bet any day of the week because it's a numbers game. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, man? So I think this whole thing is completely gone off the rails. I think going forward, this is how all their negotiations are going to be. Shout out for Dak for actually getting his money because I don't know if anyone's getting paid over there anymore. So
my biggest thing for me was he clearly doesn't like Michael Parsons as a person. If you go watch the documentary, that is how he does business. He does do the handshake stuff. He does do the off the cuff, this is how I'm feeling, or we chatted, I'll stick to my word, this is how we're going to go about this business, right? Like, that's how he does business. So it was really interesting that they had a conversation. He feels like Micah didn't, confirm or go or abide by the conversation that they had behind closed doors. But it's clear he just doesn't love Micah as a guy, regardless if he drafted him or not. Because if he liked Micah as a dude, as just like man to man, he would have paid him. I think he loved Zeke, loved a guy like Zeke Elliott. That's why he paid him. If you brought him back into the fold, right?
Last year, yeah.
Loved Zeke. If you watch the documentary, the way he talks about Michael Irvin, the way he talks about Deion Sanders, you could tell the difference between him talking about Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders versus Emmitt Smith. He didn't like Emmitt Smith as much as he liked Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin.
Right.
Even Troy Aikman. He liked Troy Aikman. He talks about Troy Aikman. He loved Michael Irvin. He loved Deion Sanders.
So one day can we pull Troy Aikman numbers and have that discussion? But I'm not here for that. It's all good.
Not today. because the numbers aren't very good. It was a different league back then.
Yeah.
He was a winner. Tough.
Numbers are paltry.
The numbers are
very rough for a guy who's in that type of regard. So I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but
yes, especially when you could go look at a guy like Warren Moon's numbers.
Yeah, Dan Marino, any of those guys, but they didn't win 2 Super Bowls. So
you could go look at those guys' numbers and man. But that's when you win titles.
Never threw more than 18 touchdowns never threw more than 19 touchdowns in a season. 23 one year.
And you know what's sick while we're on it, since we're talking about it, if you go look at Aikman's numbers, you're like, man, these aren't very good. But if you go look at Michael Irvin's numbers, very solid. Yeah. So he was getting a vast majority of those looks
all those
because
looks,
because they weren't going there weren't that many yards to go around, and Michael Irvin was getting a vast majority.
All of them.
But yeah, man, he didn't like Micah Parsons. At the end of the day, behind closed doors, I'm very confident that he was just like, yeah, I'm not fucking with Micah like that. We go ahead and move him. That's
Does
it.
He like Dak?
I think he does like Dak. He doesn't love Dak.
He doesn't like paying Dak that money. So
I think in his mind, he's like, Dak hasn't really taken me to the promised land like that.
He hasn't.
Like,
thought about it.
He reluctantly paid him because he also knows what it's like not to have Dak in the fold. We saw that.
For sure. Yep.
So he knew what he had to do. Quarterback is a little different situation. He's like an edge, Micah. The defense is weak, been weak. I don't like the guy either.
Coming off injury.
I'll go ahead and reset it. Him being stubborn, and it was about a win or a loss for him. He just wasn't going to lose this.
Well, that's being stubborn.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't going to lose. But you know what it is too? I think he feels like he's lost the last 3 negotiations. I think he feels like he lost Zeke. I think he feels like he lost Trayvon Diggs.
CD.
He feels like he lost CeeDee Lamb. He feels like he lost Dak. So now it's like, I lost all these and I don't like Micah. I ain't losing this one. Sure. That's it. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That was 100% clear. He felt that way. And yeah, he's like, I'm not. And side, this isn't the guy that I'm going to pay. And I'm dug in on this one and I'm not letting it go. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So overall though, what is it about the Cowboys? Are you interested?
Not really. I'm not. I don't care.
It doesn't really.
But apparently, people are.
And
I'll add one thing on that with Jerry. You've talked about this before too. He's also looking at, I'm paying all these guys, period, and I have it. So what am I paying for? I'm not paying for this team that got me to the NFC Championship game. So I'm paying a whole bunch of superstars that haven't led me anywhere. And I think after paying those last 3, he's like, I'm not doing this again.
So. You got to remember, this is an old man with his family sitting around a fire, like making decisions.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I think sometimes we forget as fans, I think a lot, that these decisions are being made and grueled over and analytically driven all the time. And there's research studies happening. Meanwhile, Jerry's having a bourbon by the fire and he's like, yeah, I'm not signing him.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's actually happening.
That's it.
And don't ask me again. What's that Saban? What's that Saban quote? And quit
asking him. And quit asking me. To Maria Taylor?
I'm not doing it. And quit asking.
And quit asking.
Like, I think that's what's happening with a lot of these decisions that people think are analytically driven and deep think pieces. And it's
Ego.
Jerry Jones like having dinner at his house. He's like, yeah, cut him.
Drinking
I
some
don't
Blue
like
Label. Like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
it. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Let's trade him. I like Kenny Clark.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Kenny Clark. They had him in front of the cameras. He's like, what did Jerry say? He's like, Jerry said he wanted me here, and the deal doesn't get done unless I'm in it.
brother, you're
like,
Kenny Clark. Relax.
Brother,
Yeah.
you ended up. You've had a good career.
Yeah, good for you.
Throwing.
Hopefully, you got a new deal with this. Deal. Yeah.
No doubt.
He should hold out.
All right, let's close. Let's get out of here on this Pablo Torre, a.k.a. Mr. Dick Tracy, a.k.a. Matlock, as Nick said.
Magnum P.I.
This guy, I think it's interesting because we have conversations like this all the time about, that deal sounds odd. How'd they get that done? How's that possible that they were able to finagle that?
Jalen Brunson.
How does Tom Brady continue to take pay cuts constantly? Like, there's a lot of conversations around like TB12 and Robert Kraft and how that was maneuvered and a lot of different things.
What type of investment did he get from Robert Kraft? Also, we haven't heard a peep about TB12 since he stopped playing.
Yeah, he did like a clothing line. He's got a lot of stuff going on, man. He's on Kai Cenat and Speed's Twitch stream.
I saw that.
He's doing clothes and
he's on the soccer club
guy now.
Complaining about Wayne Rooney.
Dianni Rossini. He's tried to fire Wayne Rooney and right in front of his face. He doesn't know anything about soccer. I don't know.
I just don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this. This energy. This is not a winning culture, which he does know about. So whatever. But Dianni Rossini, I was listening to her on The Ringer, and she said that Tom Brady is involved in the day-to-day with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I find that hard to believe, but I mean, the guy is locked in on so many different things. So yeah, I mean, TB12 may have fallen off to the wayside a bit, but was he getting extra dollars? I have no doubt Tom and Kraft.
Oh, this has been going
on. By the
on.
way, Kraft was Tom's guy, and vice versa, right?
Yeah, obviously.
If you guys remember, Bill Belichick wanted to go with Jimmy Garoppolo and was going to move off Tom Brady early.
Would have traded Brady a decade ago.
And Kraft was like, "Hey man,
you out of your fucking mind.
Enough of this, bro."
Yeah.
Like, and then next thing you know, Garoppolo was moved. He was gone.
Yeah,
right,
gone. Yeah.
So they were homies. So like stuff like that comes up.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers. It was always said that Magic Johnson and Jerry Buss had negotiated an ownership stake in the Lakers on one of Magic's last deals, and lo and behold, Magic in the fold. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely.
We have these conversations all the time. So it doesn't shock me what Pablo is finding, but he's finding a paper trail.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go look it up. Pablo Torre finds out that Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer may have had a deal outside of the salary cap off the field. He's like a brand ambassador for a company for $30 million, $28 million, I believe is the exact number, but Kawhi never talked about the company, never promoted it, never did anything for it. He just collected the check. Yeah. And then, of course, there was a lot of jokes.
Stephen A.
About Sopranos and no-show jobs and the mob and all that. But he was getting paid to do nothing, essentially, is what Pablo Torre found out. And why is that? We know why. Get him a little extra reason to come play for the Clippers. The one thing I will say is I didn't really understand the angle that Pablo Torre played of how did they land Kawhi Leonard in L.A. from Toronto.
Yeah, he wanted to
when
go to
it
LA.
Was clear he wanted to go to L.A. He had said as much.
He's from there.
So there's only two teams
California.
in L.A.
Yeah.
So that's where he ended up landing. Talk to me, Big Nick the Quick. How do you feel about this? This personally doesn't bother me because I thought this was America, people. Like, this is the American way. You get paid where and when and how much you can. Are they cheating? Yeah, technically, but like I said, I thought this was America. This doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me. I'm not surprised. I do think it's going to have some ramifications for sure throughout the league. I think you will see more investigations into certain deals. I think they said that Brunson is the next one they look at. Remember, Brunson took like a $50 million less than he could have to play in New York. So who knows what's going on? Can we even? Okay, yeah, who knows what's going on over there?
Nick is talking about that. He brings up Brunson because Pablo Torre essentially teased that
Brunson is next.
He was going to be looking in to Brunson, the Knicks, and essentially any other deal that looked a little suspect.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I got so many jokes, but I'm gonna leave them here. So yeah, looking into Brunson and the Knicks right now, and who knows where that could go. But I'm sure this has been happening all the time, man. Again, we talked about the Magic Johnson deal. This happens in football. This happens in baseball. It happens all over. These guys have tons of different business interests, and it's not hard to funnel some cash from one of your business into somebody else's pockets if that's the guy you want to get for an extra $5 or $10 million. I'd actually be surprised. I'd actually want to know how much it happens on a smaller scale, right? Like, you can look at these big deals, but what about the guy making like $10 or $12 million a year who probably could have got more and might be getting $4 or $5 million on the back end or something like that? So I do think it's going to open up an investigation. Right. I don't think Silver is going to let it go because he has to make it look like they're looking into this. So I think
he has to make it look like he's very upset about this.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. You will never hear a peep about it from Kawhi. I think you and I talked about it yesterday. The second they try to call Kawhi into the league office to talk about it, he might retire. You're like, where? Oh. No, I'm not. Yeah, no.
He would pull a hammy on the way to the meeting.
I'd be like, I can't make it. I'm good.
He's owed $50 million the next 2 years. Now, I am very interested to see what they come down on a punishment with this, because but it seems like
it would be a huge. If they decide to punish him, it would have to be a loss of draft pick type situation. I mean, you really are circumventing the rules to the tune of $28 million. I mean, that's a whole another half a year of salary for him. So I do think there's going to be some ramifications. I'm not sitting here telling you that I care or that I think it's foul, because I think it's been happening. There's always been rumors that Mickey Aronson in Miami has done this with Carnival Cruise shit. I'm sure you got a bunch of ex-Heat guys that it's got some Carnival Cruise payroll.
This is the American.
This is America.
Way.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't shock me at all. I am interested. The biggest thing is, how is the league going to handle this?
Just abolish the salary cap.
Nah, man, you can't, because then the Hornets are dust.
The Hornets you got to pay to play.
And if you
hey, the salary cap hasn't helped the Hornets too much, if we're being honest. So they're going to be dust regardless.
If you want to have a real conversation, the Bulls are dust.
Well, yeah, you ain't going to spend it.
No salary cap for the Bulls is a nightmare.
He's going to be like, does that mean no salary floor either?
That's the White Sox in the NBA.
Bunch of 10-day guys. Yeah, listen, man. This is not surprising at all. Shout out Pablo Torre for finding the paper trail. I don't know if you saw that Cuban came out and was like, "Yeah, this is bullshit."
Yeah, if this did happen,
if this did happen, you think Palmer wouldn't cover this up, knowing that once they go through bankruptcy, all creditors are going to show up and all that. And Pablo Torre responded, "Hey, man, would love to have you on the show and ask you a few questions. If I'm Mark Cuban, I'm not going on that show and answering any questions." You don't know what he's got. You don't know what he's got. Hey, Mark, when you bought the
when you bought the 60 minutes calls, I'm cool.
I looked into when you purchased the Mavs, and I'm just trying to figure out where this came from. Next thing you know, you're caught up on there and some shit you can't explain.
Lost connection.
Yeah. Excuse me, what? So we'll see what happens with it, man. But it is fun. I think it's hilarious that it's Kawhi of all people too.
It's because he's never gonna say anything.
He's never gonna say it. He's not gonna clear his name. He probably doesn't even know. He probably doesn't even know.
He's not even gonna clear his name. He's gonna be like, "Oh no, man, pass. I'm open in the corner. I'm on the nail. Pass
Board man gets paid. Yeah, give me the rock, man.
Just give me
Board
the
man
rock.
gets paid, man. I'm just out here doing my thing.
I think, if anything, the people that have the biggest issue or have the biggest gripe, if this is true, could be Toronto. Because remember, he could have stayed in Toronto for a lot more money. Could have stayed for the Raptors.
What were they going to offer him?
No, but I'm saying that deal would have been worth more than the Clipper deal.
But he was never staying in Toronto.
But what I'm getting at is it's a lot easier to leave Toronto if you know you're going to recoup that money that you would stay in Toronto in LA.
The question is this, though. Do we think the $28 million was the tipping point that got him to LA? Because if it was, I wouldn't be surprised if people involved in okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if people involved in the Raptors ownership did the same thing. It's not like the Clippers invented this. Every deal he was being offered probably had some sweetener like this at the end of it.
No,
and it's not like the Raptors didn't know. The Raptors knew that the Clippers were sweetening the deal because everybody sweetens the deal.
See, I don't know if that's true. I mean, we don't have any proof of that.
They'd have given them an extra $40 million. What do they call them? Loonies and toonies in Toronto, or the Canadian play. They would have given them 40 million loonies to stay. It would have been all right.
loonies and toonies.
That's what they're called. It's like loonies and toonies are what they call their coins and shit.
So yeah, it's interesting. Shout out, Ballmer for, if this is the case, which it looks like it is, doing whatever needs to be done. Those are the owners I want.
Oh, I want Steve Ballmer for sure.
Own my squad.
I love all the crazy shit he does.
Guys $30 million on the back
end. Hey, build the fan zone.
Stadium.
He's got that fan zone situation there where if you don't cheer loud enough, you get kicked out. You can't sit there anymore. I love it, man. I love Ballmer. Ballmer's going to do whatever it takes. Yeah. Meanwhile, we have ownership that will do the opposite of that. So absolutely, man. Yes. If I'm a Clippers fan, and he'll do anything. Get me Harden, that's fine. Extend Ty Lue, get me this guy, that guy. I'll spend the money. It doesn't matter. Did trade your boy Norm Powell, though.
Yeah, I love Norm, man. Shout out Norm. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in Miami.
Yeah, he's going to 30.
30. Shout out Norm. All right, that's going to do it. Episode 1 million, but back in 2025. Enjoy the kickoff to the NFL. I am your host, Sean Little. For Big Nick the Quick, lock in with us. Subscribe on iTunes, YouTube. We're back. We're rolling. New season, new time. No Ketchup, Sports Talk via Chicago. Let's get it.